Show me the soles of your boots.
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff?
Please, come on, help me out here. It's important.
Please? I think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are not Gabriel. Gabriel doesn't say please.
Oh, I see. Raises her boot slowly with contempt.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots made of black leather. Buckles run across. The sole is also made of leather.
Now the other one, please.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was a real man.
There is no aberration in the pattern that you can see. She puts her foot down. I'm trying to remember what pattern we're looking for.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this.
Wait, what do you mean it was the coronation of Franco Negro?
It was. And then it was no more. And I was no longer holding my father's hand. He was no longer descending the stairs in Ryle. The crowd had gone silent. Perhaps it was another Sheriff who came and woke me up, looking at my boots, asking questions. Or perhaps it was one of the others in this carnival. I don't remember.
As she says carnival, she gestures to the empty square with the statue and the machines.
These are not the boots I was looking for.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals.
I love her lines. I still don't really understand this whole boyadeiro thing.
Of course not. To truly understand the boyadeiro, you need to listen to On the Western Plain.
Okay, what's that?
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadeiro. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain.
I'm guessing that doesn't happen.
Of course not. The boyadeiro returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Magritte, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down.
I think I see where this is going.
So the boyadeiro strangles his beloved and throws
Jesus
her
Christ.
body in the Magritte. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him.
That's not where I thought that was going.
You have to understand. A true boyadeiro needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a boyadeiro.
You could have just fucking left.
What if to truly love a boyadeiro is to float lifeless downstream?
Oh. All right, are you the lady driver?
Did you just call me a lady, Sheriff?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I was told of a woman driver. You're the only woman here.
I'm not that either, Sheriff. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul.
So you're not the driver everyone is terrified of?
I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me.
Why are you scary to the people who used to know you? You said long haul, that's... Then who is the female driver I was told of? I'm curious what you're gonna say. Why are you scared of the people who used to know you?
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was.
You said long haul, that's...
The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there. It's all just...
She hums along as if to a track on repeat.
In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to stay.
In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air. You don't hear any vocals.
Then who is this female driver I was told of?
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers
Fair.
sniffing around when I have my movies to go to?
That's all I need to know, thanks.
Go sim.
The woman stares at you, her mind elsewhere now, on other matters.
Something in her is pulling towards some unknown rest state. She twitches, like a sleep kick.
Before I came, you seemed away.
What do you mean?
You're in a dream, inactive, turned off.
Yes? What about it?
Shh. Okay, let's change the subject.
A paledriver is what it is.
She nods her head according to a rhythm known only to her, staring at the photo in her hands. I mean, she knows who she is. She seems to be doing all right. You seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about drugs.
What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare.
The adversary.
Yes, there is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
So she considers the road to be like her enemy?
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary, the great unrest.
Where could I get my hands on an experience like that?
If you don't know,
She flicks her wrists in a gesture of casual dismissal. I wanted to ask if you'd be interested in smuggling some drugs.
why would I want to do that?
For the glory of the World Republic, liberation of the spirit and body.
Lowman, what in the name of God are you talking about?
Shit. Okay, now. If she's confused by what we're saying. Okay, let's change the subject. Oh, okay, let me put this another way. Are you smuggling drugs through Terminal V?
Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way.
You said earlier you don't know what cargo you're hauling. Could it be drugs?
Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grat, Lowman?
Drugs?
No, Lowman, diamonds.
I didn't ask you about diamonds, did I? I don't care about that. Okay, if you had to guess, who do you think is smuggling drugs around here?
Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
She squints across the square.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
I'm pretty sure she's not involved. If you're not involved with the drug trafficking, then why are you still waiting here?
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the futures of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
Thank you for now.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
Your voice trails off. That was such a cool conversation. What did we get from that? Knick-knack stand. Oh, we didn't check that out. The mirror. Bullet holes, Andre. All right. So we still don't know. It's got to be like related. Maybe, you know what? Why don't we go ask the Hardy Boys? Although I doubt they're going to help us in that regard, right? Oh, I also wanted to go back here to see if I could... Although my perception's higher. Maybe I'll spot something else? Oh man, that's so cool. There's like something... I think there's like something under here. Oh, I wonder if that's maybe the kitchen goes to there or something.
It's you again. What is it?
Oh, wow. Present a solid theory about why Ruby could have done it. Saw the winch outside, staged like a play. Reconstructed murder scene. Classia gave motive. I guess we tried that, but failed before. There's still nothing I can do about
You
this,
see
right?
a heavy steel door. The door does not. The cobalt.
It's got to connect with the thing above. So you can skip all those loading all those loading screens. Or maybe, like I said, maybe it does connect down below. I think I don't really want to go back to the cargo container. We could check out the knick-knack stand. And then maybe I'm going to go back to the west side. Is this...
You keep coming.
If he really wants to save the economy, that sounds off.
Save the economy? What are you talking about?
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco.
This doesn't make any sense. Why exactly does the economy need saving?
Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting there, not getting bought? We've got to keep the flow of goods moving. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children?
I missed this whole... Okay. You're right. We've got to save mother economy. But I don't have children, I think. It's just nature. Powerful economies expand. Weak economies go extinct. This economy is really just a distraction from the cultural issues. You know? Ugh. But I don't have children, I think.
Too bad, officer. Kids make it all worthwhile. Without kids, who's going to be around to enjoy the economy? Don't let me stop you. Open the box and browse a little.
Was it... Maybe it was in... Where was that knickknacks thing? Knickknack stand. Oh, is that in the frita? All right, we'll do it later. I kind of want to go back to the west and take a look more around there. We also have those chests to, or the traps. Same address the lead programmer of Fortress Accident was looking for. I'm going to go back to that. I think this is the way to get back to those traps, right? And we have to check up there afterwards. Wait, there's some steps in there. Were they here before?
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blonde man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles. I don't remember this guy.
You, officer?
Yeah.
Come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I was just telling my son about this building. Not many people appreciate the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Hold on, hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young carve and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
All right, you were talking about the building. Go on.
Very important. Mikhail, say hi to the officer.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his Wurma-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
Worms.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. we could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
You brushes it up like it's not a thing at all.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you were just profiling. No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
Can I have some of that unimportant money then?
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms.
He looks uncomfortable, his left hand squeezing his son's shoulder. Oh no, we're gonna fucking scare him away.
I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
By the way, do you work out?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then.
Oh, wait, what's Lo Mantang stick fighting?
It's an anthropological heritage of the Lomantang people. A martial art of sorts, but what not a lot of books mention is that it also carries a cultural significance among the Lomantangs, as it used to be the best means of showing off to look for a bride, which, interestingly enough, brings us to the socio-economic structure of the traditional rural tribes of the Lomantang Isles, which...
It goes on to give you a detailed overview of their way of life, the amiable, slightly nervous smile not once leaving his face.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying?
I'm not really interested in the practice. I just want to know how often you work out. Now and then, that's what, like once a week?
Lomantang stick fighting is a little like a Berolidin addiction.
Oh.
I've been practicing it for nearly 20 years now, so you could say that my doses have grown a little peculiar.
Sounds like he's profiling us, too.
Wait, what does this man know about Pyrrolidon addiction?
Hold on. Pyrrolidin addiction. What an interesting metaphor, study his face, or perhaps not a metaphor at all. I can assure you, nothing in this world comes even close to being addicted to this devil. So, what is it? Twice a week then? Every other day? Man, is it difficult to stay on the right topic with you? Let's go with the first one.
You got me, detective. But my history should hardly come as a surprise.
Chuckles before a shadow takes hold of his face.
Here's a former junkie. I can recognize one when I see it.
Huh.
Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that and a special costume.
Suddenly, little Mikhail opens up his mouth.
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a meditative quality. Helps to clear my head. But anyway.
He says, swaying with his hand. What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He braces his hand to his eyes to shield himself from the pattering rain. All three of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Actually, I did know that because I can read, and I read it on the sign.
Hold on. What's R&D?
Look at the building looming over you.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
Wait, what's an R&D department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore.
He smiles brightly, laugh lines around his eyes.
You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
Maya Kalpa, you are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
I don't think I've ever heard of this field electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and Faraday ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN, and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
This revolution really fucked things up. He pauses, pointing to the other buildings, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
Oh.
A wheel!
The kid looks wistfully at the horizon as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers.
Oh.
This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
You know, it occurred to me that the map just now, that the map that we have is out of date, right? Like it's probably from... I seem to remember when we picked it up. It's been so long, guys. I mean, what am I at? Like episode 7,836? Well, we got that map at like episode 3. So that's why there are things on the map that we haven't seen yet, because they're just not there anymore. What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
He smiles again as if he's somehow personally responsible for this bleak turn of events.
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
Turn to Mikhail. He means they all died at the hands of the communists.
Officer, I told you this chapter of history wasn't on Mikhail's curriculum yet. Let's keep this kid friendly.
Sounds disappointed.
The boy looks first at you, then back at his father, confused.
What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
Good choice, kid. He looks at his son, who starts giggling, his face hidden behind the book.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
How did those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant. Exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He braces his finger, remembering something.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Hughes joined the team, trying to...
He did it. He said, Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Yost?
Okay, the Wompty Dompty Dom Center, Paul Ockerman, Keith and Guy Yost. What are you talking about?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
There it is again, those words. You're making this up. Turn to his side. Hey, is your dad making this all up? Come on, there's no place called the Wompty Dompty Dom Center of Arts.
In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
Clears his throat.
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Only in this game are you going to get like a 15-minute talk about the potential of tape computers.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
I've seen cooler things than that.
I certainly haven't. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The failed playback experiment vanished into the fires of 07.
Wait, the Feld playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
Takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. I wanted to ask something else.
But of course, what else?
I don't really want to hear about the Feld building again, but let's try.
Sure. What's on your mind?
Okay.
But of course, what else?
Great. Thank you for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikael here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
True. How do I get out of here? Oh, they're still there. What the fuck, man? What are you doing, dude?
We'll be on our way soon. Thank you again for lending a hand.
Is it because I have to check the traps?
Always a pleasure.
I don't even remember where they are. Okay, let's whatever. Bottles? Let's go check out this area that we haven't checked out yet. I can check the quest when we want to check the traps. I really thought they would have taken off after we went to bed. It's got to be some way to get in there. Maybe it's this way. A coin-operated weighing machine hasn't been used for a decade. Ooh, Mega Bino's prescription lenses. Midas 1 perception plus 2 encyclopedia. Okay. The reading glasses. Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. I'll take it. I love this music. Oh, we've got a level too. Right. Okay, I'm trying to think. As I clap my hands together. What? I think we spent the last skill point learning something, so we want to pick a one of these to level up. Can't just level these up, eh? But we could take something that increases our physique, and then we could level up like physical instrument or something. I feel like we used... Our perception got a little bit better because we noticed some stuff. And actually, savoir-faire is something that's gotten better, that we used a fair amount of. Esprit de corps as well. We use drama and conceptualization a fair amount. And encyclopedia. And so if we're going to, like, really, if we want to be smart about this, I probably pick logic, right? For this. Titus doesn't believe Ruby shot the hangman. Present a theory. Make him see it's something to consider. I'm pretty sure that was logic. So let's do that. I kind of want to progress that. Cool. Makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. I think I need to equip the pry bar for this. Courant 33. This one has hell written on its back. It could not be further from the truth. It's the boom years, and Courant, the nicest district in Revachol West, is enjoying a sun-drenched day. Tall and handsome buildings rise from the riverside, steel, iron, and yellow limestone, with cloud shadows sliding on the facades. Okay. Ah, this is the way in, it looks like.